traditional name is Animeki. That's it's a long story, but you would love it if I would talk about my name, but it's really good. Anyways, my name is Animeki. Means the thunder. So just like Thunder Bay. This is my land. Just kidding. Anyway, that's my traditional name, Animeki. Down is my clan is Moose. All right, and I'm from the Neskantaga First Nation. They asked me to be an MC by our leadership, Chief and Council, and I'm really happy that I am being an MC today. All right, so I was going to do a couple times like what I did before. Do you want this? Just say no. Or when I'm going to say when I say something like like I speak my own language too. And I'd rather speak my own language right now, but to understand, I'll speak my English. And anyways, when I say just say Gawin. All right, let's practice one time. Gawin. There you go. So one word, Gawin means no. We don't want this. All right. So that's what we're gonna do. When I say, do you want this? What? Just say no nuclear waste. That's the main thing that we're here, all right, to protect our traditional lands, our water, our trees, our animals. That's what we're here for, okay? So that's what we're doing. This Kitchenuhmaykoosib, being here on this Robinson Treaty. Thank you very much for being here, all right? So we're gonna start with our opening ceremony. I'm gonna get Mariah, our great Tokam, all right? So she's here, and we're going to do our opening ceremony right now, and we're going to do our agenda.
Bonjour. David Wajimi Ingin and Kazit. Magazi Dodem. And then Kiwajo and Doji. My spirit name is Black Timberwolf. I'm from the Eagle Clan, and I'm from Fort William First Nation. It's always an honor to do an opening prayer, especially for this, to say no to nuclear waste, as it's ruining our land, our waters, our air that we breathe. It's not good for anyone, even for our neighbors in the city, as they drink the water that we drink from Lake Superior. Oops. Yeah, from Lake Superior. And when they're dumping all that into the waters, it's going all across Turtle Island. So it's not only hurting us as Anishinabek people, it's hurting others as well. Even across 2 different countries, it's hurting them as well. So we have to say Gawin to nuclear waste. I thank the Creator for this beautiful day, and that we all pray that this stops. And the government of Canada can stop it. They have the right to say no to this. As even the government people are drinking our water, and they're not worrying about how many people will die from it. So I pray that this comes across to many of our people and across Turtle Island, as I will be one of the gatekeepers for this. On Fort William First Nation, we do have a water walker that walks the Great Lakes to protect this water. And I pray that in time that it won't ruin the food that we eat, as already it's taken effect on our water and our medicines as well. This is what it's costing us, so we have to put a stop to it. As our medicines are very important to us. It helps our people to heal. They have medicines out there that help cancer. And it has helped the people with cancer. So we have to keep our earth safe as well. And the air that we breathe from all those smoke pillars that are going over the cities and over some of the reserves. It's not good health-wise. So I pray. I will pray every day. I will go out to that water, Lake Superior, every day and lay my sama down and ask the help for that guidance for our people, for our walkers. To stop So what do you say to nuclear waste?
Go win!
Oh, Chimiigwech, Chimiigwech, Chimiigwech. We will have Jocelyn come out and do the next.
Bonjour. My English name is Jocelyn Nobles. I'm from Rocky Bay First Nation, Kitchenuhmaykoosib and Nishnaabeg. My spirit name is and the meaning of my spirit name is Eternal Lasting Thunderbird Woman, and I'm from the White Bear clan. And we know as leaders, we are born leaders when we belong to the Bear clan. At times too, I wasn't too afraid to come and speak about anything in front of people, but this is what I do now because it's affecting us in many ways, the air, the land, and the water. It's their minds are digging in the Mother Earth's veins and disrupting the land base of the animals. And this nuclear waste has been going on about the water advisories. I'm from a community out on Lake Nipigon, and there was always water advisories, and also there's all those mines that are up on the lake up there. And I've just told by my daughter that they're going to be doing another one. At one time, Lake Nipigon used to be where all the fishermen had fishing boats and fish, but it's no longer, an opportunity for them to do their way of life. And the animals are being disrupted through this water system and the mines and whatnot, and we complain about them coming into the land or the cities. But what's happening with the mines and all that, they're driving them away. So we look after all, even including the animals, because our ancestors has done this for many years and will continue, and I'll be an ancestor eventually, so we're hoping to reach out to these younger generations to keep this going and say no to nuclear waste or even the mines that are coming around our lake. And for me, what I think is all about this is greed. Nobody talks about that word, but that's what's the main thing that's happening when they let all this happen throughout the world, not just Canada, throughout the world. And Mother Earth and Mother Nature and everything in our world is fighting back, even the air. When we have these big tsunamis and whatnot, destruction, fire. So this is what I've been seeing. I've talked to many elders of what's been happening. And I'm glad I'm a support of what's happening out there. It affects us all, even the little ants. So it does affect everyone. So say no to nuclear waste and our waters, to pray for them, and which I do daily. And I'm glad I came here. And what do we say?
Go in!
Okay, Muskrat.
All right, thank you very much, Muskrat. So say no to what?
Nuclear waste!
No to nuclear waste. All right. What else? What did I say? Gawin with Anishinabek?
Gawin!
There you go. So our next agenda today is we're going to have Don't worry about me speaking my language because the Nisnaabeg. All right. So One, two. Okay, testing 1, 2. Okay, we're gonna get drummers here. All right, so wait tomorrow. They're gonna come and drum.
Bonjour. Waktebenes, Kiwe with them, issue to them. We were asked to sing a song. Me and my brother were talking about the songs and what is appropriate. And we decided to sing the song that we made as little kids. We're at home. Put the cushions up, stacked them up, and we started singing, and we made a song. And that song stuck with us ever since then. Over maybe 35 years ago, that was the very first song that we sang, that we made. And for a long time, we never forgot about it, but we asked one of our teachers, can you help us with this song? And he found it was a very beautiful melody. And he put words to it. He went to a ceremony and he found the words saying, we live a fast-paced life and we need to slow down. See, that song, those words are so open-ended. It could be for anything. It could be for even medicines. When we go to the doctors, we expect results right away. But the traditional medicines it slowly gets introduced into the body and it helps the body fight off whatever needs to heal. Same with Mother Earth. We gotta take our time. We gotta respect the animals, and we gotta respect the water, the air, everything Mother Earth gives us. So it's up to us to give Mother Earth that time to heal. So we stand together to help with these protests, help our people heal. Not just us, but our future generations. So we gotta slow down. And we gotta think for the future, not just now. So how? We'll sing that song.
Miigwech. That was a great song. Miigwech, miigwech. So say not to what? Say not to what? I can't hear you. Say not to what? Nice. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. So this is very important for you to be here. I guarantee there'll be more people. We're going to fill this park eventually. All right? Guaranteed. So next one, they're going to do a couple songs. For grandfather teaching and water song. Nahag Nisnaabeg Creek, mga Netmizaaggamig, tabanang mo gawin mo. Ahaw. Testing 1, 2.
Wauzhushk, Ishibra, Animal Quain, Indigenous Cause, Magazine Indodem, and Inninuwug. My name is Whirlwind Woman from Fort William First Nation, and then I'm Eagle Clan. We're going to sing the song which we call Calling in the Grandfathers. And we are really asking our ancestors to be with us here today, to stand with us in this very important time. To stand with us in this very important time. So we are very pleased to be here. The ancestors will be here with us until this is done, at which time we will then sing the traveling song, which will allow them to go back to the stars. Language.
Uju, Inninuwug, Charlene Bordeaux Wabus and Dishnakas, Pagoshin and Doji, Makododam. We're going to do one more song for you, and it's called Meet Me by the Water.
Hey,
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very good. So our next agenda will be we're going to get the chiefs and delegates to come and speak on behalf of this Kitchenuhmaykoosib. And so the first one that we're going to call upon, first of all, say no to what?
Nuclear waste!
Say no to what? Yeah, all right. Good. Okay, we're going to get Chief Turtle to come in first and to speak. All right, Chief Turtle, come on. All right.
Good afternoon. It's good to see you again. I just want to start off by saying thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting. I want to say thank you to all the First Nations, the 12 First Nations, and the other ones that are coming on. I also want to say thank you to the citizens of Dryden and Thunder Bay and the surrounding towns that are joining this protest, and I hope that our movement is going to grow. It's not just for First Nations, it's for all of us concerned citizens in Northwestern Ontario. We're here to protect our land, and I'll say that again, it's our land. I want to start off by saying that I lived in Grassy Narrows most of my life. I grew up in the bush. My parents, they relocated the community to where it is now back in 1968, somewhere around there. I was just still a baby, I guess, at the time when they moved the reserve. And my parents moved to the new community, but my mother didn't like it. She told my dad, let's go back to the old reserve. And she always maintained her position that the community should have never moved. And I believe that, because after the community moved, that's when we started having all kinds of social problems with drinking and marriage breakdown and violence and all other things. Before, when we lived at the old reserve, there was people lived pretty much in harmony. It was good at the time. Yes, there was problems, but not the way they exploded after moving. It was much better living at the old reserve. Now slowly we're moving back again, going back to the old reserve, and slowly we're going back to our old ways, and I'm happy that we're doing that we're slowly going back to where we used to be and finding our original roots where we all grew up and where we were raised. That's very important. Now, as I grew up with my parents, as I said, we lived in the bush. My dad was a trapper. He was a guide. In the summertime, he was guiding. Back in those days, you were able to qualify for EI much easier than nowadays. So he would be guiding probably from May to October, and he was able to, get EI for the winter, but also he was able to go trapping at the same time during the winter time. So there was always income, that he didn't have to really rely on welfare or anything. There was always something to, work. Nowadays, and unfortunately, people don't, there's too many people on social assistance nowadays, but we're trying our best to get them off that and start creating jobs and getting people back to work. But like I said, we grew up like that. We lived off the land. We ate the fish. We ate moose, deer. It's a lifestyle that you call subsistence living, and that's the way we were. We ate ducks, we ate fish, deer, moose. We didn't have the ability to go to a Safeway or anything. We had to get our meat from the land. And most of the families did that. Most of the families in Grassy Narrows did that. But you know, with the mercury poisoning, it stopped our fishing economy. And a good portion of our diet was taken away. And now, today, we're facing new challenges again. Just recently, there was a report that came out that the Dryden paper mill is still dumping effluents into the river that's causing the mercury to get worse. And that's no good for the community of Grassy Narrows and for White Dog and other people that are along the English River. So they're poisoning our land. Industry is poisoning our land, all because of the almighty dollar. Shame! Shame! And now we're gathered here today to say no to nuclear waste because they're going to do the same thing. They're going to poison our land. They're going to poison Grassy Narrows. They're going to poison Dryden. They're going to poison Eagle Lake. They're going to poison Kenora. They're going to poison Thunder Bay. They're going to poison all the communities along Highway 17. We have to say no. We have to stop this. And, you know, there's always that debate of global warming. You see it on TV. We have the scientists that say there is global warming. And we have the other opposition, the other scientists that say no, there's no such thing as global warming. The people that say there's no such thing as global warming are a bunch of liars. Because you don't have to be a scientist to know the changes that are taking place. You don't have to be a scientist to see that some rivers are drying up. You don't have to be a scientist to see that the springtime is taking longer. Did you notice that in this fall, this September, how unusually warm it has been for September? You don't need a scientist to tell you that. You see it with your own eyes. You see it in yourself. The changes that are taking place with our environment. And it's all because of pollution from industry that is slowly changing this world, slowly killing this earth. I don't want to live in a place where there's going to be no trees eventually. I don't want to live in a place where the rivers are dried up or some places where there's flooding because there's such fluctuation in temperature. I don't want to live, you know, in an environment where it's all mixed up. I don't know how, but recently they spotted a rattlesnake in Brandon, Manitoba. A rattlesnake has no place being in Brandon, Manitoba. Now, whether someone lost their pets, I don't know. But if he appeared naturally, traveled up north, that shows you that the environment is really changing. Because they shouldn't be around that area. So, you know, see these changes slowly happening. And so we have to stop it. I don't know how much more, like how strongly I could say that. I don't know why some people just don't understand. Like, it's very simple. You don't have to be some grammar professor or whatever. It's so simple. No means no. That's how it is. No means no.
Go
Yeah, no means no. Why can't you understand that? We are saying no. No. We don't want nuclear waste. We're saying no. The community of Grassy is saying no. The community of Eagle Lake is saying no. The community of Neskantaga is saying no. The community of KI is saying no. There's citizens in Dryden saying no. There's citizens in Thunder Bay saying no. And how many other communities are saying no? And you see these signs along the highway. We're saying no to nuclear waste. Come on, Doug Ford, open your ears and say, we're saying no. Get that wax out of your ears. And that goes for Trudeau, the Prime Minister. They're always flipping back and forth. Oh, that's provincial jurisdiction. Oh, that's federal jurisdiction. Well, both of them are guilty. Both of them should hear the voice of their people as we're saying no to nuclear waste. Both levels of government should be hearing the voices of their people. And we're all saying no. Stop this thing. Stop it now. You know, when you live off the land, it's an active lifestyle. You go hunting, you go fishing, you go canoeing. You have a fit life. It's a good, healthy way of living. Now, if you're a couch potato, that's a whole different matter. I hope there's no couch potatoes here today. But that we're all active people who love our land. We want to be able to get up in the morning. As I mentioned last spring, I'll be able to get up in the morning and hear the chirping of the birds, and to be able to have coffee in the morning and look outside and you can hear the birds singing. You could hear the animals moving around. We're doing this for the next generation and for generations to come. I was asked today, is it economic, is it money, or is it for the future? I'd rather preserve our land for the future. I'd rather preserve our land for 40 or 50 years and even further, so that our children and grandchildren will have an earth to live in. You know, when you're out in the bush, when you're out on the land in the summertime, especially as evening comes, very often you hear the loon calling, that howling sound of the loon, the voice of the loon. You hear it, it sounds very, how would you say, like it's a haunting call. It makes you notice, makes you notice, you kind of go, what's that? As you hear the loon making that noise, as you hear the loon calling. Well, I want that loon to live. I want that loon 50, 60 years from now. I want my grandchildren to hear that voice, to hear that loon calling as the sun sets, that he'll be able, or she'll be able to hear what I used to hear, and that they'll be able to hear that loon calling in their lifetime. This is what I want to leave behind for our grandchildren, and this is what we should leave behind for our grandchildren. We're not doing this for today, we're doing it forever, that we are protecting our earth. We want to make sure that our earth is going to stay healthy and be a healthy environment for all generations to enjoy. Thank you.
Hi, thank you very much. Okay, we have another good presentation from Chief. All right, Chief King. He's going to come up here. Give him a hand. Miigwech for coming here. Miigwech, thank you very much.
Miigwech, Kitchenuhmaykoosib Nishnabeg Donji, Gishkamin and C. Mizene Dodem, Chimiigwech Kenawea. Chief Wilfred King from Gull Bay First Nation. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming out here today in support of this anti-nuclear waste deposit in northwestern Ontario. First of all, I want to thank and commend my colleague, Chief Rudy Turtle, true environmental warrior for our community. We need more leaders like Chief Turtle at the grassroots level. We need those leaders that are going to speak up for the environment. We need those leaders that are going to pull us all together. And I fully support Grassy Narrows in terms of what they have gone through in their community. And that's why I'm here today. Our council fully supports the communities that are signed on with this coalition. In addition to that, I want to thank all the members that are here today, and the greater general public. I want to thank you as well. Chief Turtle talked about global warming, and I also want to talk a bit about that as well. Gull Bay First Nation is not against development, contrary to what most people think. We want to extricate ourselves from the shackles of poverty, much like anybody else. But we have to do development in a sustainable way, in a way that protects the environment, in a way that also makes sure that there are mitigation measures in place so that the land would sustain ourselves forever. We've been utilizing the land since time immemorial. The land has sustained our people. We still hunt moose in our territory. We still eat the fish because it is still clean. I think it's important that when we're looking at the environment, it's really important that it protects all of us, not only Anishinabek people. And again, I'm glad to see we have non-native people here in support of this cause today, because it's really important. I could vividly recall, and I'm glad that Chief Turtle brought up the issue of global warming. First time I've noticed it was about 40 years ago when I started seeing turkey vultures in our territory. And they were never part of this region. Secondly, one of the key things I saw was pelicans on the north end of Lake Nipigon. They were never there before. Then I started seeing black squirrels in Thunder Bay here, and they were never part of Thunder Bay. Then recently we're starting to see more and more raccoons in our area. They're not part of this area. And in fact, there was a raccoon walking across the bay in Gull Bay a couple of years ago. And then there's the coyotes that are all over the north now, and north is Armstrong. So you can see where things have changed. I'm a lot older than I look, but I've seen that in my lifetime. And so I think it's important for all of us to recognize the global changes. And one of the things that really scares me is even with, you see a lot of the deer ticks in our territory now. And we know what Lyme disease brings. It's very, very dreadful disease. And there's other diseases that are coming up here because of the migration of different animals, different insects and so forth. And you'll recognize that. You'll see them and you say, I've never seen that animal here before, or that insect here before. So I agree that global warming is happening. And people talk about as people are denied, there's denialism of global warming. And we've seen the destruction that has happened in British Columbia with the forest fires and so forth, what's happening in Florida just recently. And there are people now saying they want to leave the state of Florida because of the hurricanes. And there are many people now that can't get insurance for their homes in places like British Columbia because the insurance industry says, no, sorry, we can't insure your home because it's costing the insurance industry billions and billions of dollars in claims. So it's going to impact us all, and I hope that we rally together in this great cause for challenging nuclear waste. And although our communities on the western shores of Lake Nipigon, we don't know whether or not the CN Rail will be a corridor for transporting this waste, but we do know the Highway 1117 will be a corridor. And we are very concerned of the lakes and tributaries that flow into Lake Nipigon and into Lake Superior. And we're concerned that if there is ever a spill, that it'll be catastrophic. And so it impacts us all, and not only Anishinabek people, but non-native people as well. So I fully support Chief Turtle and all of the hard work he's done. And I commend him. He's one of our true leaders, and I look up to him. I'm one of the chiefs that see him at various meetings throughout the Chiefs of Ontario, the AFN, and I really like the work that he's doing, and he's doing work for all of us, folks. It's not only for his community, it's for all of us. So having said that, Gawin means no. Miigwech.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. I'm from Neskantaga First Nation, just to let you know who I am. My name is Animeki Thunder. All right, that's my name. So what do you say to? No to nuclear waste. All right, so our next presentation, we have a delegate from Neskantaga. His name is Gary Cousins. Can I get Gary Cousins to come up here? Give him a hand. Very good, very good.
Okay, bonjour. Miigwech de Kitchenuhmaykoosib, wega kage nagaskigatig we mawajagaon sagak kawiyamagak uma takimanak. So I'd like to thank you all, everybody, that's all the participants that came here to support this rally. So thank you all. And what do we say? Kawin. Okay, I'm from in a remote area, a flying community. We have our members we fly all the way up here to participate in this rally. It's very concerning for our area, because all the water comes from up on this area. The water circulates all over the world to where humans could use. We all use water, and we got to say no to nuclear waste. We're hurting. Look at the backyard here, the back view. We got nice, beautiful trees here. You know, they're growing well, and if we have more contaminants, environment in our area, we're the ones that are going to be suffering. And the highways are not safe for this nuclear waste to be carried right across our country. You know, we have a nice farming. You know, lots of farming will get impact, lots of animals, humans. And this is a long-term radiation. There's a lot of radiation on this nuclear waste, and there's only 2 in the world. And Canada doesn't have to accept this. You know, Gawin. You know, we don't need it in Canada. We don't need it in our province. We have enough environment already as it is. You know, I'll give an example. Look at BC. Look at how many natural disasters there is because of the environment. Everything's taken out already. We got no more protection. And Ontario is our last Canadian shield in Canada. That's why we have to say no. You know, we have to protect our hydrocarbons up north. You know, we have to, because we got no protection after Ontario. We're going to have lots of natural disasters, just like United States. You know, you see lots of natural disasters. And this is where we have to stand strong as all nationals, and you know, this is our country. We have to protect our country for the nuclear waste. You know, it's not safe anything is not safe that's put in the ground. The rock cracks. You know, we have all kinds of issues with the man-made projects. So we have to stand strong and say no to our nuclear waste. Just past the summer, I was traveling on Highway 11 just outside Ignace, and I got stuck there for 2 hours. A nice, beautiful day, a trucker having an accident. You know, how are we going to live with that? And I was thinking, how is it going to impact with this nuclear waste? These truckers cannot stay on the road. You know, I think we have to say, we have a say, because it's our country, it's our land. So that's why we came up all the way from up north. Neskantaga is about an hour flight from here, and it's costly. So we came here to bring our voice. We have our youth, and we live off from the land every day. That's one of our precious food market we have in the world, is our land. You know, everybody goes fishing pretty much. That's the fresh fish you ever have in the world, you know, and after it's contaminated, you wouldn't be eating like it. The same thing with the wildlife we eat. You know, that's one of the best markets we have in the world, is the land where we live from. So that's why we're strong on our defending the land. So even the ring of fire that's in our area, same thing, same voice. We're saying, you know, we have to protect the land. You know, there has to be more due diligence to be done, and we have to be consulted. You know, on this nuclear waste, not everybody's consulted. You know, and what do we do? You know, how do we just let this happen? So that's what I want to say. So hopefully we'll continue this nuclear waste to say what?
Go in!
Okay, be great.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Gary. Thank you so much. Okay, like I said, I'm from Neskantaga. I did a lot of traveling in the Wauzhushk River. If you check my Facebook, it's on public. So we took a lot of kids out. And they really love their nature. They love their sturgeon. They love their walleye. They love their beaver. They love everything. And like what these, our chiefs, our leaders, what they're talking about, they're sending the message for us. And today, we're going to Graham Road for 6 days. We're going to go harvest some wildlife over there. Like today, we're leaving right now. Like right after this, I'm going to Graham Road to go hunting again. You know, that's what we're doing. Everybody's doing that right now, you know, doing harvesting. And we have to continue that. And saying no to nuclear waste, saying no to everything what's going on with the effect of our environment, you know, it's very important to send our message out, you know, to talk to us, you know. It is very important. You know, our kids are loving our nature, our wilderness, the way we live, you know. It's very sad to see if this has happened to us, like in BC or wherever. So, say no to what? Say no to what? Thank you. We're going to have our last speaker, and her name is Duri. Is it Duri? So can you come up, our last speaker here? And oh, there you go. Okay, there she is. All right. Mary Beltry and nice to meet you. All right, so they're going to do their last presentation here, and I'm going to go to Graham Road. So.
Thank you. Mary and I are both members of the board for Environment North, and we are from We the Nuclear Free North, and there's also Thunder Bay Nuclear Free. So there are a number of alliances, and in the audience here, we have people that are in from Dryden, from Sunset Country Alliance as well. Thank you to everyone that has traveled the distances to come out here. I just want to speak on 4 points. The first point I want to make is that I am the person that researches transportation issues related to the Nuclear Waste Management Organization's proposal. And the 2 points I want to bring out to you is that 1, if this project goes through, there will be 2, probably 3 transport trucks coming up through from southern Ontario as far as New Brunswick and Quebec up into northwestern Ontario for a period of 50 years. Each of those trucks will carry 192 used nuclear fuel bundles. So you're looking at about 600 nuclear fuel bundles coming through with each on each day. The second thing you should know is that in their new document, they have said that this will also be transported by train. So it's by CN or CP, more likely I think it's by CP. It will be coming right through all of the ports of all of the cities that it's going to be coming from, and it will be traveling up through into northwestern Ontario. There will be 14 rail cars on that particular train, and there will be a total of 5,300 plus used nuclear fuel containers, bundles on that train. So each train. So they say 1 train every 2 weeks, and lately Jacqueline Jack from NWMO said it would be 1 train every week. So we know that there are train derailments, we know that there are major truck accidents, and we have to say no. This cannot be transported. It should stay where it is generated. Now, for the past 60 years and more now, we have been using renewables in northwestern Ontario. Our hydro, our electricity comes from biomass, solar, wind, but most of it comes from hydroelectricity, water-based. Southern Ontario, for the past 60 years, has been using electricity generated by the nuclear power plants. And it is their waste that they want to transport up here and put into a nuclear dump site in northwestern Ontario. It is not our waste. And the last thing I want to tell you is that when it comes to insurance, each and every one of you that has any kind of house or property insurance policy, you must take a look at it under the category of loss and damage, because not one of you is covered if there's a nuclear contamination due to a nuclear incident. The insurance companies do not want to cover you, and it says so right in your policies. So, you need to protect yourselves, you need to protect your land, we need to protect our future generations. I respect the First Nations' attitudes towards 7 nations. NWMO does not. We all respect and think of the future. This is not just for 100 years, this material lasts for 250,000 years. We must be future thinkers, and each one of us has to do something. Okay, we can't just say somebody else will do it for us. We each need to do something, and we need to start screaming, because the decision is coming up soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Jody. So I am really proud of the First Nation people here, the leaders of the Land Defense Alliance, and the leaders who have been speaking out against nuclear waste coming to northwestern Ontario. We stand in solidarity with the First Nation people who are here to protect the land, here to protect the air, here to protect the water. Unfortunately, our own politicians at the federal government level and at the provincial government level are not listening to us. But we are persisting. We are trying to meet with the members of parliament. We are meeting with municipal councils, and we are asking them to also pass resolutions that oppose nuclear waste in northwestern Ontario. At a very basic level, we know that this process is totally unfair. The Nuclear Waste Management Organization has been given complete authority to decide whether nuclear waste comes here or stays in South Bruce. They've given 2 small communities the right to vote for all of us, whether or not nuclear waste comes here. We think this process is totally undemocratic, and we are constantly trying to oppose the very process that is going to allow this to happen. And I guess, as Dodie said, another aspect of environmental justice is that we do not rely on nuclear waste, nuclear energy up here. So it is unfair. It's a fundamental principle of environmental justice that the people who do not benefit from the industry should not bear the responsibility of the harm of the waste. Yeah. So for all of these reasons, we are standing very strongly in solidarity with our First Nations and saying that we oppose nuclear waste in northwestern Ontario. And I remember Judy De Silva, who spoke the last time we gathered here, and she said, you know, we're like mosquitoes. We may be a nuisance, but if we are a swarm of mosquitoes, our voices will be heard. So we've got to keep telling the politicians, the Nuclear Waste Management Organization, that we oppose this. And we thank you very much for coming here. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to speak.
All right, regrets. Can I get all the ladies to do our last drumming? Ego remember kumate. Ego to subscribe sake. If you have enough time to do okay, how do we do just a quick. But now do we get she wants to say a few words. No.
Wauzhushk Ignace Oma Kitchenuhmaykoosib Nishnaabeg Muskrat tutem now coming guani ne donjiba. Apachu miigwech bizantaweo Ignace Gijiegaki Kitinma. Hello, my English name is Caitlin Pepompi. I'm from Treaty 3 Territory, Whitefish Bay First Nation. We're nearby Onigaming, and the chief of Onigaming has publicly announced that he did not want to be a part of any negotiations that nuclear waste is trying to consult with our communities. I kind of just wanted to share something real quick. I know everybody has busy lives and you have to go to work, you have other duties to attend to. I wanted to share that, you know, during the fur trade, us Indigenous societies always responded with intelligence and creativity to maintain our cultures in the face of changes to our ecosystem and the expiration of some animal populations, just as the other speakers spoke of earlier. And our customs and norms have changed across centuries as our communities have migrated, split apart, and come together as allies. Resistance to market capitalism is not about resisting change. Resistance to market capitalism is about resisting cultural genocide and colonial control, and prioritizing our philosophies that center on long-term rather than short-term thinking. So when when these speakers were talking here earlier about generational thinking, that's how our people have operated for time immemorial, and we are still like that. Nuclear waste management organization is still about business. We are thinking about our future children and our lands. They have talked about our land and water changing and the migration of the animals changing. They're telling us something. So with that, I want to end with a short story, and you take it as you will. I was sitting outside my mom's house in Whitefish Bay by the lake, and sometimes, not a lot of times, sometimes our fishermen will throw fish guts near the lake. And I was sitting there watching all these birds go to it. There were eagles, seagulls, crows, pelicans. And as I sat there watching them, they were kind of fighting over those fish guts. And the eagles, they strategized on how to get the flock away from it. So they scooped in and they picked up some of those fish guts and threw them in the water. And some of those pelicans and those seagulls went flying to it. And then most of those eagles went to the fish guts. As I sat there watching that, I was wondering, what's Kitchenuhmaykoosib showing me? What am I being taught today? I wanted to share that story for those resistors, for those change makers, for those people who do things. If you're listening, to strategize on how for these corporations to no longer encroach on indigenous lands, because our indigenous peoples will be the first to be affected. So with that, I just want to say, Nana Gacha Wen, Kiteki Manan, Nana Gacha Nebe. Watch over our lands, watch over our water. Nana Gacha Gikna Wiamama. Nana Gacha Abinujia Dish. Look after each other, look after our children. How Miigwech Bizandawyo.
Very strong words. Okay, and we're going to have our last song. We'll get the young. All right. Okay, so they're going to come up and do our closing song. But I wanted to say first, I was asked the coordinators here, if you have a time right after the singing, they wanted to stand on the side of the road with your signs if you have time. So it'll be really appreciated. Just grab one of these signs here, go stand on the middle of the, not middle of the road, side of the road. Side of the road, all right? So we'll get the singers. Okay.
Hey!
Bonjour, Nangukap, Nonukwan, Nishnaabeg, Bishututem, Asubpeeschoseewagong, Nindunji. That song that we just sang is, we call it the Mother Earth song or Carissa song. And that song came in 2001. There was a woman in my community that was beaten to death by her partner. And I thought about the life that my daughter will have to face. And in 2002, we put up the blockade in Grassy Narrows, which is actually the longest standing blockade in Canadian history. We have no logging, we never accept logging or mining or any destruction on our territory from that day. And so that song we use for Mother Earth, because every day the earth is going through something. Every day she's being dug into, minerals being taken out, the waters are being poisoned every single day. And that's how our people have to live every single day. We live with environmental racism. That's what I'm going to call it, because our lives don't matter. Our people have been fighting against mercury poisoning for over 50 years now. And how is that possible? If that happened in this city, the government officials would clean it up right away. And now they want to bring this poison, that's going to be upriver from us. And that's also going to be devastating for our children and our babies and the ones that are still coming. That's going to be devastating, and it's going to be devastating for your grandchildren, your children. So it's good that we're all here together, all these communities, and even the non-Indigenous community, fight every day. Think about us in Grassy. Every day we have to face this. Every day when we all leave from here, we have to go home. We have to go home to poisoned water. So think about us every day. You keep putting up those signs. And if you have to stand in front of that, stand there and say no more. So that's what this song is for strength and courage, and that we'll all keep fighting for the earth. Miigwech.
So I just want to mention again that we're planning to go by the road with all our signs to make some noise and get noticed and spread the awareness of saying no to nuclear waste. I guess I'm going to be closing with a song. This song was taught to me by Kathy Bird. She said it's a water song, and that when I sing it to the water, to sing it to my kids, to myself, and when I'm working with medicine, when I'm making mashkiki wabu, which is medicine tea, I guess, in English. So I'm gonna sing that song, and then we're all gonna move. I don't know yet, but we're gonna go somewhere together. Oh. Beda